Before we get underway, I have got a small emergency I have to deal with. I'll be right back. Okay. Emergency over. I forgot to water the plants. Very important thing. Welcome along to the China Report, Monday, the 23rd of May 2022. My name is James. What's happening? Well, first of all, the Three Gorges Dam website is still showing Shandong province and hasn't changed for a couple of days. It's just sloppy, it's just lazy. And moving away from that, let's have a look at the levels. Today, getting better with the Three Gorges Dam. Kutan is down 164.24. Three Gorges Reservoir 156.75. The inflow is at 14,000. And the outflow is 22,300. So the inflow is 14,000. Even though the outflow has gone down, the levels have gone down as well, because every year the Three Gorges will be waiting for the floods, and it needs to be down. Again, this time last year, 152, 153, 151, something like that. Let's go and have a look at the jazz musical kind of weather. You're going to enjoy this music. It's really chilling. Here we go. I hope you enjoyed that music. Now, away from the Three Gorges Dam, climate change threatens China with yet another deadly flood season. This is from Bloomberg, the Asian edition, and somewhere I do have a little script of it. This was recorded on Bloomberg News on the 17th of May 2022. As China's rainy season starts, National Climate Center forecast show that flooding in the north and the south of the country could be as bad as last summer, and with torrential rain that unfortunately lots of people lost their lives. Cities that house millions of people have little time to prepare. More than 27,000 residents from 22 counties in the southern province of Guangxi were affected with heavy rains last week, and more than 2,300 hectares of crops were damaged, causing 104 million yuan, that's $15.4 million in losses. In Guangdong, another southern province, many cities shut down kindergartens, primary and secondary schools due to downpours. Now, if you are searching on Twitter or YouTube, you have to be really careful on the videos that you see. There are some unscrupulous people who will show videos of last year. And let me just show you an example. This is a video taken from Twitter claiming this is from 2022. But if you do a reverse search on it, it will find out that it's from 2021. So do take care. How do you know? Well, going to some trusted websites, for example, can I say myself? I'm not going to put any fake news. I just can't see the point of it at all. I do YouTube as a hobby, trying to give information which is not usually shown on mainstream media, or it's on the 8th page of the New York Times, which you don't get to, you only read the headlines. So that's one. Now, what's happening in Shanghai? Well, Let's have a look at this picture for a moment or two and then explain some of the situation with the easing of the lockdown. So you can imagine that these two girls are looking for, well, customers, or they're incredibly rich, or whatever it is, but they're showing that you can go and eat in Shanghai now. Their lockdown is over. But if you are driving in Shanghai, do take care, because some of the electronic billboards, well, actually most of them yesterday were down. And you can say Internet Explorer, this is a malfunction. The subway is open, or a lot of the subway is open, and you can see that the subway is sort of like quiet. This is an interview with a grandma. This is actually quite funny. And the person who is interviewing this grandma basically is saying, how was the lockdown? And she's saying, it's absolutely terrible. I didn't have any food, example. Then look at his microphone. It sort of moves away. And then the cameraman needs to find some other B-roll so they can edit this. So you would actually see this wouldn't be on the mainstream news, because they all want positive. They wanted the grandma to say, well, yes, I had food. Yes, I could go to the compound. Yes, I could get fresh air. Everything was fine. I understand the reason why. I absolutely agree with the zero tolerance policy that happened over the last 60 days in Shanghai. Take a look at this. There's no translation with this, but you can understand what's going on now.
什么样的心情啊？现在什么样的心情啊？能够做到？
坐地铁是今天特别高兴，因为呢封了将近要2个月了嘛。自从我出生到现在，还没有受过这样的日子，被关在家里不出去啊，真是天大的笑话。
But at night time in Shanghai still looks like a ghost town. This is a video from a Twitter feed and is absolutely deserted. Not too sure what date this is, but it's very, very slow to come out of lockdown. Now, the authorities are saying everything is going to be up and running, or the city is going to start to getting back to 100% by June the 1st, which is near enough this time next week, Monday or Tuesday or next week. Is it going to happen? Well, we just have to, as I say quite often, keep an eye on the situation. Now, to be honest, I really can't remember why I took this video snapshot, and I can't remember why these people are walking. But again, this is Shanghai, so it's sort of like a strange thing, and I really can't remember, and I can't even find what it was about. But this is one of the latest videos in Shanghai. Moving along, you can see here some buses which have been operating, but the buses are not picking up any passengers. So the public services are operating again, which is good news, like the buses and the metro, but it doesn't seem many people are taking them because they're sort of like paranoid. Possibly, I don't know the real reason, that they can, but they don't seem like they want to. And just to have a little snippet of what it's like on the metro again, and this is an interview which I managed to capture, and it looks like this. It's all in English.
The community told me I can leave, and the place I'm going to said I can come. I can leave as long as I can get a ticket.
When I arrive at Shanghai South Station, I'm not sure if I can get the transport for the second half of my journey. This feeling is not good.
Are you going to the hospital?
Yes.
Have you always been staying at home? Were you able to go to the hospital?
No, I haven't been there.
What's your feeling with seeing the subway running?
I feel like now I can travel the first half of my journey, but what about my second half?
Which station are you going to?
South Station.
After you arrive, you'll need to find another transport.
I don't know, I can't find any, but now I'm about to reach halfway. I'll walk a long way if I have to.
There was an article maybe about 3 or 4 days ago, or even a week ago, when enough is enough is enough, and one man tried to build a boat, which he did do semi-successfully. Well, it did float, and trying to sail or row his boat down a certain river to escape the lockdown. Unfortunately, he did get caught, and good for him for trying. That's a good... but it was sort of like it was bound to fail, unfortunately. And during the lockdown as well, I'm not too sure actually what this is. It is Shanghai. These are people queuing up for food, and in order to get the food, they've got to go, "Huh, I love the Chinese Communist Party. Huh, Xi Jinping is number one. Huh, everything is hunky-dory. Huh, the Shanghai lockdown was a success. We have zero tolerance policy, COVID, 0 cases in China. Huh." Like that. And a little bit of state propaganda from TikTok this time. And this is a plane arriving a couple of days ago in Shanghai. This is the, not Boeing, it's not Airbus, but it's the Chinese C-19. It is their own brand of aeroplane. Just showing off that things are getting back to normal in Shanghai, which you could say is good news. Do they need to show off a new aeroplane? Well, sort of, yes. It's we can call it propaganda, but this is just news of what's happening in China. And also, this one happened during the lockdown. There was a fire, but the fire brigade, the firemen, whatever you want to call them, couldn't get through some of the barriers enforced by the local officials. So it wasn't thought through 100%. Lock it down completely, and when they mean completely, so these firemen had to break through the barricade in order to get to the fire. That brings us to a close on Monday the 23rd of May. My name is James. This is the James Neil Cooper channel. The like, please do. Subscribe, please do. Share this, please do. And you've been seeing this mug all throughout the show. Please do. $15, buy a mug, help a child. Even if you could say you don't want the mug, but you do want to help a Cambodian child, you can send money to Donald on PayPal, and you can go and check of some of my other videos where people have bought the mug. Nothing is going to my pocket or Donald's pocket apart from the costs, but everything is going to the children there. And once we sold all the mugs, then my girlfriend, lovely Sophie, myself, will be going to an orphanage to donate some rice, slippers, t-shirts, and maybe some canned goods as well, things that can last for non-perishable goods. Thank you for your time as always. Have an epic Monday, and I will see you hopefully on Tuesday. Bye bye for now. Thank you as always for your time. Cheerio.